Politics is a very dirty game. Johnson Sakaja is discovering that today. The Commission for Higher Education in this country today revoked the degree certificate of Johnson Sakaja, which means Sakaja might not be cleared by IEBC to contest for the Nairobi gubernatorial seat. It also means that Sakaja forged the documents which he submitted before IEBC, which generally means that Johnson Sakaja, according to section 349 of our constitution of the penal code, can actually be charged for forgery, an offense which is punishable by law in this country. But what next for Johnson Sakaja? And what next for William Samoei Ruto in this particular matter? And what next for Kenya Kwanza in general? Because Johnson Sakaja has actually responded by attacking President Uhuru Kenyatta. I want us to go through that response by Johnson Sakaja, because for me, I've listened to that statement very closely. That statement is actually a message which has been drafted by the Deputy President, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, through his team in Karen, because the tone and the diction are not the tone and the diction of Johnson Sakaja. But what next for Sakaja? Let me just look for this document, the letter which was published by, which was circulated by the Commission for Higher Education. This is what the letter says, dated on the 14th day of June 2022, addressed to Johnson Sakaja Arthur. The letter says, "Dear Honorable Sakaja, revocation of recognition of your degree. This is in reference to our letter dated 6th June 2022 on institutional accreditation of Team University that awarded you a degree, Bachelor's of Science in Management External." It says, "The Commission for University Education has, however, received material information about the authenticity of the degree you presented from Team University that will require further investigation to ascertain the validity of the said degree certificate. Consequently, in accordance with the queer recognition procedure, we hereby revoke the recognition of your degree, Bachelor of Science in Management External, from the aforementioned university. Yours sincerely, Professor Chacha Nyaigoti Chacha, PhD Chair, Commission for Higher Education." It's also addressed to the IBC Chairperson and the Secretary, Cabinet Secretary for Education, Jogo House. Interesting development. Very interesting development. And Sakaja has responded. And in his response, Johnson Sakaja is actually accusing President Uhuru Kenyatta of sabotage. I don't know where the name of the president is coming in on this particular matter, because the general consensus is that even if Sakaja were to be cleared, Kenyans were still going to question his certificate. And Oscar Sudi made some very interesting comments too. That President Uhuru Kenyatta placed a phone call to someone in Uganda. And after that phone call, that's when the certificate of Sakaja was revoked. I want to advise Sakaja and any other individual that you can't fight the system, you can't fight the deep state and succeed. You must ensure that your paths are clear. In fact, I was reading comments because I want us to look at this statement by Sakaja. I was looking at, I was reading through some statement, and someone was like, if you compare Sonko and Sakaja, Sonko is a bit ahead of Sakaja in so many ways. For example, Sonko realized that he needed to be the governor of Nairobi. And for one to be declared, for one to be eligible to run as a governor, you must have a degree. That's a requirement. If you don't have a degree, you can't run. So Sonko went to school, and Sonko used to take photos. Kenyans saw Sonko graduating. So whether he attended all the classes, whether someone did for him the assignment, neither here nor there. But the truth is, Sonko was seen going to St. Paul's University. He would go live. Sonko would attend students' activities. By the end of the day, Sonko graduated. He sealed all loopholes. So you can only question whether he attended those classes in real sense. But for Sakaja, he knew so well that he wanted to become the governor of Nairobi. And one of the requirements was that you must have a degree. It's on record that Sakaja attended the University of Nairobi but never completed his studies. He left some units, I think 3 or 4. So why would Sakaja then go to Uganda and begin a new course? So Sakaja is saying in his statement, let me just get Sakaja's statement because that's very interesting. Johnson Sakaja. Sakaja is saying in his statement, I will be on the ballot on 9th August 2022. How is Johnson Sakaja going to be on the ballot? Is there a chance that the court is going to clear him? And IBC are also going to clear him? We will wait and see. But he's saying, I will be on the ballot. If you go to Kipchumba Murkomen, he's also alleging that Sakaja will be on the ballot. But let us wait and see. He's saying, the purported revocation of my credentials by the Commission for University Education chairman is null and void and politically instigated. The chairman, Professor Chacha Nyaigoti Chacha, has been coerced and intimidated by President Uhuru Kenyatta to illegally revoke recognition of accreditation that has been properly issued. You see, Sakaja is very clear. He's talking of the accreditation. He's not talking of his degree. He's saying, he's continuing, on June 6th, I presented my qualification to Queer for recognition. And this is where Sakaja is actually putting himself in a fix. So let's say on 6th, Sakaja woke up, wrote a letter, and presented to Queer for recognition. The commission conducted due diligence by first writing to their counterparts in Uganda, the National Council for Higher Education, which in turn wrote to the university. The commission confirmed the authenticity of the qualifications from Team University through National Council of Higher Education, and thus recognized my qualification. These are the documents that the Nairobi County Returning Officer used to clear me as per the law. Now, that's what Sakaja is saying. Now let us go and look at those documents. These documents were initiated on 6th. All of them signed and approved on 6th. How was that even possible? The documents Sakaja has attached are a document from the Commission for University Education, which was written to Johnson Sakaja, that thank you for your application. So Sakaja wrote a letter to Commission for University Education on 6th, he wrote a letter. Sakaja wrote a letter on 6th. After writing a letter, these guys, the same 6th, responded to Sakaja. He's saying that, thank you for your application, dated 6th. So these guys, Sakaja wrote a letter to these guys on 6th. The same 6th, these guys had written to Uganda. Uganda had replied, and they had also written back to Sakaja to confirm that, thank you for your application dated 6th June, which you requested the Commission for University Education to ascertain the accreditation status of Team University in Uganda, from where you obtained your Bachelor's of Science in Management, external. It is hereby confirmed that Team University is a recognized institution in Uganda. The verification awarded by the said university is also recognized in Uganda and by convention in Kenya. Kindly note that in addition to this recognition, you may be required to meet other requirements set by Kenyans. So this is very interesting that on 6th, Sakaja woke up in the morning, wrote a letter to Kwea. Kwea then wrote a letter to Uganda. In Uganda, 2 letters were also written. Responses were issued. And by evening, Johnson Sakaja had these documents to present before IBC, because the deadline was the next day. So which means someone somewhere was placing phone calls. Have you received it? Okay. Stamp it. Have you sent it? Okay, send it back. And the interesting thing is that the Commission for Higher Education is putting some true disclaimer here, which Sakaja should have taken note of. That the Commission is not accountable for the authenticity of the certificate or the identity of the certificate holder presented for recognition or equation. So basically, for them, they were, according to this letter, they only wanted to confirm that the Team University is actually recognized, but they don't want to get into the certificate and the person. And he's saying the Commission retains the right to revoke recognition of the award in event that it establishes any reason that makes the award in question ineligible for recognition or equation. So basically, they had known that this thing was not going to go far. But if you look at this document, it's not possible that Sakaja could write these letters on 6th. Then on the same 6th, several people on the same 6th, everything had been done and submitted. Even if you were to blame Uhuru Kenyatta, even if Uhuru Kenyatta hates you, how do you start blaming Uhuru Kenyatta on this? And Sakaja is continuing that the desperate attempts by President Kenyatta and the so-called deep state will fall on the sword of justice. I have the consequence. Sakaja is concluding that the desperate attempts by President Kenyatta and the so-called deep state will fall on the sword of justice. Now, that's not the diction of Johnson Sakaja. That's not Johnson Sakaja's handwriting. That's the handwriting of Dennis Itumbi and Eric Ngeno. These are their handwritings. And they are hiding behind this to attack President Uhuru Kenyatta. And they are saying to President Kenyatta, I say, let the people decide. Not even the threats to arrest me will dim our resolve to serve the people of Nairobi. The people of Nairobi have resoundingly rejected your project and are looking forward to elect their own. I remain committed and confident that a new dawn for our capital is beckoning. A city of order and dignity, hope and opportunity for all. We shall not be cowed. We will prevail. Now, I don't understand why Sakaja is penning this long statement. If I was Sakaja, I would respond by providing the necessary documents. What Sakaja is failing to understand is that when his history will be written in this country, President Uhuru Kenyatta will occupy a big space in a chapter. Why? It is Uhuru Kenyatta who picked Sakaja from wherever he was, believed in him, made him a chairperson of a political party, nominated him to parliament. It is Uhuru Kenyatta who ensured Sakaja became the governor of Nairobi, the Senate of Nairobi in 2017. Uhuru Kenyatta and the deep state had been advised by that time that Sakaja had not completed his degree. That's why he allowed Sonko to become the governor, because Sonko had done it the right way. And again, it's President Uhuru Kenyatta who made Sakaja who he is. I don't know where Sakaja can get the guts to attack the president. If you read through this letter, I've not read it, all of it, is saying that following this, President Uhuru Kenyatta and the entire state machinery have gone on an intimidation spree against institutions locally and in Uganda to revoke the recognition of my qualification in a bid to stop me from being governor of Nairobi. They have sent officials from the Kenya High Commission in Uganda to intimidate Team University staff, as well as that of the country's National Council for Higher Education. The university has remained firm and refused to be intimidated. So has the Council of Higher Education in Uganda. The only institution that has succumbed to this intimidation is Kenyan Queer. It is also instructive that the letter by Queer has been written and signed by the chairman on the CEO's letterhead. We are also aware that the commission did not meet to make this decision, and it was done by the chairman under duress. A day earlier, the Queer Chief Executive Officer replied to an inquiry by Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, affirming the authenticity of my credential and affirming that I am qualified to run for the office. If you read between the lines there, then you understand that there's a failure in Kenya. The questions are also going to be raised about institutions like the EACC, Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission. Why would they just write letters to believe certain things when every Kenyan knows so well? Sakaja himself knows so well that he started a degree he never completed. He is also aware that for him to become a governor, he needed a degree certificate. What Sakaja was trying to do, he was trying to procure a degree certificate. You can procure a degree certificate and even have all these documents provided by university. But I think he was time bad. Thank you guys, and please, until next time, this is Makwiny. And by the way, there's this Kabogo. Kabogo Wangamati fight. Wewe tungoje